Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time, and I will be knitting, so I'm going to take you along for the ride. Today is the first day of Vlogmas. Well, it's the first day of December, which is also the first day of Vlogmas if you are into that kind of thing. This is only my second year doing Vlogmas. Last year, I did not post every day. That may end up happening this year also. But I worked through the Skein and the Stitch 2023 Advent calendar. And this year, I'm doing something a little differently, and I'm really excited to bring you along with me. But first, I just have to say, I might be really bad at Vlogmas because here's what I did today. You're gonna laugh, or maybe you won't, maybe you won't care. But here's what's happened nonetheless. Basically, I started the day, I was filming some comfy, cozy B-roll, like of my Christmas tree, of myself lighting a candle, pouring my cup of coffee, you know, just setting the stage for a beautiful, comfy, cozy day of Vlogmas. And then I remembered, oh, we're heading out the door to go grocery shopping. So I blew out the candle, I poured my coffee into a travel mug, and now here we are. So you don't get the aesthetic B-roll that I initially envisioned to start off Vlogmas. And we're just starting over with me here speaking to you. But anyway, it's the first day of December, which is the first day of Vlogmas, which, as far as I understand it, is basically daily vlogs leading up to December 25th. I don't know if I'll update every day or upload every day, but if I do, it certainly will be later in the day because I'm filming and then editing and then uploading. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But I am approaching December with some specific goals in mind, so I figured why not take you along for the ride. Normally I upload weekly podcasts. I don't know if I'll do that throughout the month of December. It might be redundant depending on what I show you during Vlogmas, but at least for today, we're going to get started. We'll start strong, and I want to tell you some of my goals for the month of December. The first goal, which is a lofty goal, and you may think an unattainable goal, you grump if you don't believe in me. I don't know if I believe in me myself, but my first goal for the month of December is to finish all my whips, complete all my projects. Well, I shouldn't say finish, maybe finish or frog, depending, but I'm kind of leaning heavily towards finish because I have a lot of projects that are just needing basically to be either ejected from Sleeve Island or, well, there is one sweater I need to make from start to finish if I, you know, stay true to this goal. Anyway, my first goal is to finish all my projects that I currently have on the needles. The first of which is my sea glass sweater. And since my last podcast episode update, I have finished the body. Dun 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 dun! Beautiful. It's not blocked yet. I'm hoping that it relaxes a bit with blocking. But all I have left to do is knit the sleeves and block. I've woven in all of the ends except for these up by the collar. Look how beautiful all those woven in ends look like. I think I may need to do some after the fact revisiting of the collar to cinch it up a little bit, whether that is knitting it again or adding elastic. I haven't decided yet, but I do need to finish the sleeves. So that's one project that I have on my to-do list if I'm finishing my projects before the end of the year. The next project that I have is also a project that I have completed the body on. This is my Stria cardigan, designed by Andrea Mowry, and all it needs is the sleeves and the button band. I have knit the button band before, but my pickup rate was too few stitches, so it was like cinching up the cardigan. Didn't like that. So I have the sleeves and the button band in order to complete the Stria in the month of December, if we're going with that goal. The next project that I have, which I think I'll finish today, actually, I've been working hard on this. It's my rainy day tee. This is designed by Sorry Nordland, and I'm currently working on the sewn bind off. So that's definitely something that I can finish in the month of December, if not today. I also have 3 Christmas stockings that I need to make in the month of December. I'm about almost halfway done with the first one. So that is a project I want to finish this week. And what other projects do I have? I have the sea glass, I have the rainy day tea, the Straya. Oh, my alchemy pullover. So I want to cast this on. And if I cast it on in December, then I want to finish it in December. So I have this swatch. I want to swatch again and then cast on. So those are the projects that I currently have on my needles, or that will need to be on my needles very shortly. So I want to clear my needles in the month of December. That's the one, or the first project for Vlogmas. The second project for Vlogmas, which is a bit more fun, not to say finishing projects isn't fun, but this is a bit more in line with the common approach to Vlogmas or Advent season, which is yarn advents. I didn't purchase any advents this year, and I didn't have any dyers send me any as promotional materials. So Leslie made a scrappy advent for me, and isn't this so cute? Each day is in this little baggie. So, and they're all labeled. She wrote, the numbers of the day on each of the bags. So this is for day 10. And I just think it's so cute. I'm going to put the Advent bags. Let me get my rainy day tea out of the way here. I'm going to put my Advent bags in this ceramic basket that I got at an estate sale earlier this year. Ta-da! Here's my Advent basket now. So here's what I'm going to do with this Advent during the course of December 2024. I'm going to open up each day's respective mini or little cake, and I'm going to find a corresponding skein of fingering weight yarn in my yarn collection, and I'm going to use the mystery mini for that day as an accent color on a pair of socks. So for today, I need to find day 1, but also there's a little bag that said, open me first. So need to locate that. Okay, here's day 1, but let me find the preemptive day. Here we go. It says, open me first. So we'll start with this bag. This is a mystery. I haven't opened any of these yet, so I have no idea what's in these. Aww. Cute little Christmas tree stitch marker. And at the top, Leslie wrote a note that said Rocky chewed part of the cardboard. Rocky chewed some love onto this, LOL. Thanks, Rocky. Love you too. Okay, so starting off strong with a cute little Christmas tree stitch marker. And now let's open up day 1. Leslie, this is amazing. So she put a little card with what the yarn is. So this is Ruby and Rose's Glitzy. So I have the dyer, I have the name of the colorway, and then she said this was left over from a baby headband. Okay, look at this. Cute! So here we have this really cute pink. This is like a 2-ply, it looks like. You know, if you've been here for a while, you know that I have a complicated relationship with 2-ply. I don't like knitting with it. I don't like looking at it. However, I don't mind cranking with it because this reminds me of the vine in Jumanji, so I feel like I'm in imminent danger looking at 2-ply fingering weight yarn. Anyway, let's go to my yarn collection and find a skein that will look well look good, go well with Ruby and Rose's Glitzy. Okay, so this cubby is full of fingering weight yarn. Many of the skeins here are just isolated fingering weight skeins. Like, I don't have duplicates of them. Some of them I might have a couple, like 1 or 2, but most of these are just single skeins that I have in my collection, whereas up here on my yarn wall, I don't really have many single skeins there, so this is going to be the first place I look for my sock options. And let's just see. I really like how it looks with this, but this might be part of a sock set, so stand by. Yeah, see, this is already part of a sock set, so I don't want to use Glitzy as the contrast color on this. You know what would be good is if I had a 2-ply skein, so then it would be the same base, but I don't think I have. That looks kind of good. What do you think of that? I have another bag of random single skeins that I'm going to look through and see if anything speaks to me with this pairing. So in here is just random skeins that I've tried to destash and they've never really sold. So maybe something in here would work. No, nothing is really speaking to me there. I think this is the one. Look at this. This is Practical Magic from Treehouse Knits on the spruce sock base, which is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. Doesn't that look pretty? And it kind of like the pinks of Practical Magic are, I don't know, I think it looks really nice with this. So, gonna get this wound onto a cone and we'll start cranking. Okay, so normally when I crank, sometimes a 20-gram mini isn't enough for the cuff, heel, and toes, but I just weighed this and this is 24 grams. So I think that I'm safe to do all 3 of the points of contrast. I think some days I may just have to do like the cuff and not do the contrast on the heels and toes, or you know, some combination of omitting all 3, or like, you know, like some days maybe the contrast will just be the cuff, some days maybe it will just be the toes, maybe it will just be the heels, I don't know. We will see what we see. But anyway, all this to say, for today I think that all 3 will work. Now, I think the last pair of socks I cranked on this cylinder were DJ size socks, so I need to change the cylinder so these can be socks that will fit my foot. Also, it's been a while since I have cranked, so I hope that it's a little bit like riding a bike today. We shall see. I really need to clean my machine. I also really need to replace the handle because it is on its last leg. It probably won't last a whole month of daily cranking, but we'll see. Okay, so I've just cranked 100 rows and I have about 3.5 inches of width. And for my shoe size or my foot size, I want about 3 3/4 inch width for a 4 1/4 inch target length or width. Basically, you want negative ease when you're cranking socks. So my foot width is 4 1/4 inches. So for my sock, I want 3 3/4 inches. So that gives about a 1/2 inch of negative ease. So I need to go down a little bit on my tension, which I started out that way, but then I was like, no, this is going to be too loose. So I need to get this swatch back on the cone and then re-swatch with a little bit looser tension. This is by far so much faster than if I were hand knitting, but it's still annoying when you don't meet gauge. So onward and upward, let's get this back on the cone. Now for these socks, I'm really only going to check the gauge of my main color just because I don't really care about the gauge of the contrast color. And it's certainly not going to be such a big difference, I'm sure. I mean, the gauge will be different. This is a 4-ply sock yarn, whereas the Advent Mystery Cake today is a 2-ply. So obviously they're different bases. So of course they're going to work up slightly differently. They're not going to be identical to each other. And in fact, even when you're cranking bases that are identical to each other, every skein cranks up a little differently. So anyway, all this to say, the gauge will probably be different between my main color and my contrast color, but I just don't care. I just do not care. So I'm just swatching the main color. This is maybe a good time to mention that if you have questions about a circular sock machine, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I've gotten lots of questions over the time, or throughout the course of time that I've been on YouTube about the circular sock machine, and I have done a really bad job of answering most of them. And by done a really bad job, I mean I don't think I've answered any of them. So yeah, drop your circular sock machine questions in the comments. I am not an expert, but I do know how to use mine. This is a Dean & Bean circular sock knitting machine. Okay, so I've got all of the stitches set up. Now let's crank 100 rows for my new swatch. It's so interesting what different tension will do, because now that it's looser, I can see like a different pattern in the color pooling. Before there was not color pooling, but now I can see the green and the pink sections separate, which is really interesting. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop at 85 rows and call it good. See what I mean with the color pooling? It's like flashes of the green. I don't like that as much as the first version, but we'll see. Where's my ruler? Here it is. My ruler's clear, so I lose it all the time. All right, so we're smack on with 3 3/4 inches for my width. So here's what I could do. I could switch to a 68 needle cylinder and have tighter tension. Do I even have a 68? No. The next size up I have is 72, and I know that's going to be way too big. So I think it just is what it is for this pair of socks, and that will be okay. But look, it definitely is a nice pairing, this with that. So the next thing that I need to do is determine my row gauge. So I know that my stitch gauge is right for the measurement I need. So now I need to count my rows so I know how long to knit for the foot and leg. Okay, so I have 10 rows per inch. Okay, so I think that I'm going to crank 50 rows for the foot. I don't know, 50 just seems so short. We'll just try it. 50 rows for each the leg and the foot. Okay, I am starting the sock, or no, I'm starting the toe on the first sock. I definitely messed up the heel on this. I was just going by memory, but the last time I cranked socks was in, I think, March or April. So it's definitely been a minute. And I think for tomorrow's pair, I definitely need to review how to do this. But anyway, time to start the toe. Alright, I know it doesn't look like it, but I have the first sock done. I'm just going to go ahead and crank the second sock, and I'll come back and show you when they're both off the machine. Oh, wait, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you. So this is how much of the Scrappy Advent yarn I have left. And obviously I have plenty of the main color skein. So what I'm going to do, just to be extra careful and make sure that I don't run out of the contrast color, is I'm going to crank the first few rows of my cuff in the main color. This will be on the inside of the sock, so you can't see it from the outside. And then I'll start with the contrast color for the second portion, or the outside portion of the cuff. Okay, see you in a bit. Ta-da! I have two socks. Now I just need to Kitchener the heels or the toes closed. So let me do that. I'm a little annoyed. Just because the color pooling is annoying to me, just because I saw what was possible with that first swatch I made, where there was no color pooling and the greens and the pinks and the purples were just all beautifully blended together. Whereas in this version with this tension, there's flashes of the blue-green section and flashes of the pinkish purplish section. Oh man, but it's okay. They still look great. They look really cute with the contrast. But it does make me want to make something with that tighter tension, like maybe I could figure out how to make a notions pouch or something. But let me Kitchener these toes closed, and then I'll come back and I will show you what they look like. One sock done. You know what I'm thinking as I am doing this now? So I was thinking, okay, so after I'm done with this sock, I could get footage of me working on my rainy day tee and finishing that, because Vlogmas, or at least my Vlogmas, pardon Darby's shaking, at least my Vlogmas is going to be a combination of this sock cranking mystery, pairing the Scrappy Advent with a main color from my yarn collection that I already have. But after this, I mean, I got a later start with this than maybe I will most of the days for Vlogmas, but it just sounds like torture to do more filming, because I still need to edit this and then upload it, and I really want Vlogmas to be fun and not burdensome throughout the entire month of December. I want to have fun, and I want you to have fun watching. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pivot here. I'm not even done filming day one of Vlogmas, and I'm already pivoting, but I think that I'm going to have a standard podcast throughout the month of December. So that means that during the podcast, I will update you on my projects. So I'm still trying to finish them. I'll update you like I normally would on my weekly progress. And then I'll still do Vlogmas as much as is joyful for me with this daily sock cranking. So I'm not going to open tomorrow's Scrappy Advent offering from the Advent Leslie put together for me until tomorrow. And then I will do the same thing I did today. I'll find a skein in my collection. I'll pair it with that day's mini. And I think that will be what works best for me and for my heart. And yeah, I think we're gonna pivot to that. So the Vlogmas episodes won't really have, you know, it might feature sometimes some project updates, but really it's just gonna be this cranking extravaganza to get through this Advent mini. And I think also this will be so good to help me work through yarn in my collection, specifically those single fingering weight skeins that I have, because I have them set aside mostly to be cranked into socks. So this is really the perfect opportunity for me to work through these. Also, I don't think that every day will be me making socks for myself, because I do not need 25 new pairs of socks. I just don't. So this will be a good opportunity to get some gift knitting under my belt for this holiday season. I haven't really done any gift knitting yet. So shameful. Actually, it's not shameful at all, because there's nothing wrong with not gift knitting. And there's no such thing as selfish knitting either. And that is a hill I will die on. But of course, if you have it in you, in your spirit, in your schedule to gift knit or gift make, nothing wrong with doing that either. Do what works for you. Okay, I'm weaving in the tail after grafting the toe closed. I'll tell you a secret, I didn't weave in all the ends on that first sock, which was the second sock I cranked, but the first sock that I grafted the toes closed, I didn't weave in all the ends. And I don't know if I'll do that on this sock right now either. I will do it at some point, but do I want to do it now? Probably not. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that this will be okay without weaving these in just yet, because I simply don't feel like it. Yeppo. Okay, let's get rid of the waste yarn. I used to save the waste yarn to reuse it, but now I just put it in my scrap bag. Sorry. Ta-da! 2 socks. Okay, let's give these a steam block. Look how good these look. Whoop. On the sock blockers. Oh, that color pooling is so annoying. It looked so good with that tighter tension. Okay, here's the final reveal. Again, I still need to weave in some of the ends on the inside of the socks, but ta-da! Did it! 1 day of mystery socks done, and I've got a new pair of socks in my wardrobe. So that's all. I'm gonna end it here for Vlogmas. I know it wasn't like a true vlog. You didn't get to see me pour my coffee. You didn't get to see me, I don't know, get cozy on the couch. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you that. But in the meantime, I have a new pair of socks to enjoy, and I hope that whatever you're doing today is bringing you enjoyment also. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here for more Vlogmas episodes and my weekly podcast, which will go live on Tuesdays. Okay, that's it. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.